The barbers had said they would arrive by 3. It was like waiting to begin a journey, Frances thought. She and her mother had spent the morning watching the clock, unable to relax. At 2:30, she'd gone wistfully over the rooms for what she'd supposed was the final time. After that, there had been a nerving up, giving way to a steady deflation, and now, at almost 5, here she was again, listening to the echo of her own footsteps, feeling no sort of fondness for the sparsely furnished spaces, impatient simply for the couple to arrive, move in, get it over with. She stood at a window in the largest of the rooms, the room which, until recently, had been her mother's bedroom, but was now to be the barber's sitting room, and stared out at the street. The afternoon was bright but powdery. Flurries of wind sent up puffs of dust from the pavement and the road. The grand houses opposite had a Sunday blankness to them, but then they had that every day of the week. Around the corner there was a large hotel, and motor cars and taxicabs occasionally came this way to and from it. Sometimes people strolled up here as if to take the air. But Champion Hill, on the whole, kept itself to itself. The gardens were large, the trees leafy. You would never know, she thought, that grubby Camberwell was just down there. You'd never guess that a mile or 2 further north lay London. Life, glamour, all that. The sound of a vehicle made her turn her head. A tradesman's van was approaching the house. This couldn't be them, could it? She'd expected a carrier's cart, or even for the couple to arrive on foot. But yes, the van was pulling up at the curb, with a terrific creak of its brake, and now she could see the faces in its cabin, dipped and gazing up at hers, the driver's and Mr. Barber's, with Mrs. Barber's in between. Feeling trapped and on display in the frame of the window, she lifted her hand and smiled. "This is it, then," she said to herself, with the smile still in place. It wasn't like beginning a journey, after all. It was like ending one and not wanting to get out of the train. She pushed away from the window and went downstairs, calling as brightly as she could from the hall into the drawing-room. "They've arrived, Mother!" By the time she'd opened the front door and stepped into the porch, the Barbers had left the van and were already at the back of it, already unloading their things. The driver was helping them, a young man dressed almost identically to Mr. Barber, in a blazer and a striped necktie, and with a similarly narrow face and ungreased, week-endy hair, so that for a moment Frances was uncertain which of the two was Mr. Barber. She had met the couple only once, nearly a fortnight ago. It had been a wet April evening, and the husband had come straight from his office in a mackintosh and bowler hat. But now she recalled his gingery moustache, the reddish gold of his hair. The other man was fairer. The wife, whose outfit before had been sober and rather anonymous, was wearing a skirt with a fringe to it and a crimson jersey. The skirt ended a good 6 inches above her ankles. The jersey was long and not at all clinging, yet somehow revealed the curves of her figure. Like the men, she was hatless. Her dark hair was short, curling forward over her cheeks, but shingled at the nape of her neck like a clever black cap. How young they looked! The men seemed no more than boys, though Frances had guessed on his other visit that Mr. Barber must be 26 or 7, about the same age as herself. Mrs. Barber she'd put at 23. Now, she wasn't so sure. Crossing the flagged front garden, she heard their excited, unguarded voices. They had drawn a trunk from the van and set it unsteadily down. Mr. Barber had apparently caught his fingers underneath it. "Don't laugh!" she heard him cry to his wife in mock complaint. She remembered then their refined elocution class accents.